And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today's lesson is going to be on the quick mask mode of creating and refining selections in Adobe Photoshop CS4. I think most people use the quick mask mode to refine a selection rather than create them from scratch, but that's not true in all cases. But what we're going to do here today is demonstrate refining a selection using the quick mask mode. So to do that, let's get started. You can download this image right here from our website, birdflying.jpg. And once you get that all set up, go ahead and grab this tool right here. This I can't remember the name of it. Magic wand tool. See, that shows you how often I use it. And then we're going to go ahead and select the background image. And if you don't have your option set the way I do, all you have to do is go over here and right click on the tool and hit reset tool, and that'll set you up just like I have it set here. Then go ahead and click on the background, okay, and then hold down your shift key and click a couple other places until you get most, if not all, of the background selected. Alright, now we want to invert that selection by hitting Control Shift I. That's going to invert the selection, so now we have this seagull selected, or most of the seagull. And to get the rest of it, we're going to refine this selection using the quick mask mode. Very easy to do, folks. Hit this little icon right here, and we're going to be editing in quick mask. Alternatively, just hit the Q key on your keyboard, and that brings up the quick mask mode. Now, what are you looking at here? Well, where you're seeing the image, that's the selected area. Where you're seeing that magenta, or often referred to as a ruby lith overlay, that is the protected or masked area. So what you can do here to add to the selection, you paint with white. Alright, so I want you to go ahead and set your foreground and background colors, alright, to white as your foreground starting out and black as your background. And if they're not set up like that, just hit D on your keyboard and that'll set your default colors. Okay, what D does actually is it sets black as your foreground color. We want to switch that to white because we're going to start out by adding to the selection. Then I want you to get a hard-edged brush. Here's the brush tool right here. Go ahead and click on that. Select the brush tool and then come up here and select a hard edge brush. So just move your slider all the way to the right and start with a pixel diameter of about 8. Should work out pretty good. And now we're going to add to the selection right here on the bird's back. Let's zoom into this area by holding down the control key and the space bar at the same time and then marqueing around this area. And here we go. Alright, so let's just start painting now. Make sure you got white as your foreground color and then just start painting. And now we're painting in selection. Okay? Very easy to do. Let me show you a good trick to use, because sometimes, unless you're working with a Wacom tablet, it's kind of hard to use the mouse and to paint. So let me give you a little trick here. If you click and then move to down the edge a little bit and hold down Shift and click, you can make a kind of a line. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say, folks. And that'll save you having to drag your mouse, which is easy to slip with. If you got a steady hand, you can do it. I like to click though. Okay, there you go. Let's zoom in a little bit here. You're gonna have to get a little bit more accurate here. We're getting down to pixel level here. Okay, and let's say I slipped a little bit and went outside the area. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to have to switch my foreground color to black and paint some of that mask back in. Alright? Very simple to work in the quick mask mode, folks. Down here we can add to the selection a little bit. So hit X on your keyboard. It's going to change your foreground color to white. And you can just paint in selection. Quick mask mode is an excellent way to refine an edge. You can use a soft edged brush and that'll give you a soft edge. Okay, let me show you that. Let me just go ahead and soften the brush down. And let me show you that in the, let me make a little bit bigger brush by holding down the shift key, or correction, just hitting the right bracket key. Now I have a larger brush. Let me go along here and you can see what a soft edge it's making. You can see that also if you click on the channels palette. You'll see the quick mask right here that Photoshop created this in the channels palette. Go ahead and turn off the RGB here and you'll see it as a grayscale image, and you can see that soft edge that we're making right now because we switched to a soft brush. I normally work with a hard brush, but that's an option for you right there. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the RGB image and fix up this here. Hit X. I'm going to paint back in. I'm going to lower my brush size by hitting the left bracket key. And I'm going to paint in some deselection or add to the mask. Okay, I'm going to look at the edge here a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let me hit Control 1 on the keyboard, and there you have it. Let's exit the quick mask mode by hitting Q, and there's your normal selection, the marching ant display that you're used to seeing. Let's go to the layers palette now, and with the background layer selected, hit Control J. That'll jump the selection to its own layer, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You can apply a filter to it. Let's just do anything here. Let's just take the first one that shows up, colored pencil. You can move that into another image, you can keep it in this image, whatever you like. But there it is, folks, the quick mask mode, very easy way to refine a selection.